I want to point out, though, something you probably don't know about this, something that is just so incredible. It's so interesting. You probably never heard this. Maybe you have. I don't know. But we actually read about it earlier, and we just kind of skipped right past it. But look in the very first verse we read in chapter 1, verse 17. Now the Lord provided a huge fish to swallow Jonah, and Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights. This is very specific. This is very important here. Not only is this foreshadowing Jesus 800 years later, and Jesus says this, I'm going to give you the sign of Jonah, that I'm going to be dead, and I'm going to be like fully dead and in the grave for 3 days, and then I'm going to come back just like Jonah did. He was fully in the fish for 3 days, and he came back. Not only is he foreshadowing Jesus in this moment, and not only is this important because that's a really long time to be in a fish, by the way, 3 days and 3 nights. But notice how Jonah is mentioning that in verse 2. Look in verse 2. You notice? Did you catch this? I don't know if you saw this. But he says, from the deep in the realm of the dead, I called out for help. From deep in the realm of the dead, I called out for help. Jonah wasn't dead. Why did he say that? Why did he say from the realm of the dead? This is so cool. This is so cool. In the ancient world, it was commonly believed that the underworld was in the depths of the ocean. That was the location of the underworld. If you know Greek, the Greek gods, they lived on Mount Olympus. They lived up on the mountains. That's where the god lives. And the underworld, the place of the dead, was deep in the ocean. Now, that's not what the Bible teaches, but that's a common belief in the ancient world. That's also why in the book of Revelation, if you've read this, if you've ever wondered this, where it's talking about when God makes all things new and he makes all things good and all things are right, and there's going to be a new earth. And it says this, and there will be no ocean. I always thought that was a weird thing. It's why would there be no ocean? I guess there's more land to hang out on. Maybe there's more people there, But it's because in the ancient world, it was common belief that's where the underworld was. And so the Revelation is communicating clearly to the people that there will be no more underworld. There will be no Hades. There will be no death. There's nothing like that. So not only that, so this is why Jonah is saying from the depths of the underworld that I'm calling out. Not only that, this is so cool. There's this ancient text that was discovered. It's called the Mesopotamian Descent of Inanna. And it's this story of this woman, Inanna, who goes to the underworld. She visits the underworld, and she spends some time there. And then a big part of this text that scholars have discovered is her saying that she has to get back to the surface. She's got to get out of the underworld before 3 days, because if you're there for 3 days, you are trapped forever. See, it was not only a common belief that the underworld was in the depths of the ocean, but it was a common belief in the ancient world that if you visited the underworld for 3 days, you were trapped forever, and there was nothing you could do to get back. If you're in the underworld, not even the gods can bring you back then. And Inanna, in this story, she's calling out, I'm kind of freaking out. It just shows what's going on in the ancient world, what is the common belief. There's nothing that can bring you out of the underworld there. And then look what's going on with the story of Jonah. See, we miss this in our modern times, but ancient people see this right away, that this fish comes out of the sea and takes him to the depths of the sea and keeps him there for 3 days and 3 nights. And the ancient people hear that. And they're like, they're making that association with the underworld. They understand 3 days and 3 nights. That's the full time to be trapped. You're not coming back. No matter what God you serve, no matter what storm was caused by this, you're down there for 3 days. You are stuck for good. But God is saying to the ancient people, and he's saying the same thing to us today, when Jonah comes back and he's brought back by God, the ancient people understood this, and I hope that we understand this too, is God is clearly saying nothing is too far gone for God. Nothing is too far gone for God. Nothing is too far gone for God.